How would you like to create an online course so that you could start actually making money on the internet while doing something you love and having an impact on others? Well, it's more possible today than ever before, and my goal for this video is to show you exactly how to create an online course that sells, but most importantly, to do it quickly and efficiently while avoiding a lot of the common mistakes that can cost you lots of time and money. Welcome to this training video. My name's Justice Eagan. I'm the creator of the Digital Freedom Formula, and I help digital entrepreneurs like you grow sales fast while enjoying more leverage, more automation, and ultimately more time freedom. So if you're new here, definitely consider subscribing to this channel because I put out a new training episode each and every week along with a free resource that'll help you get results on the subject of that training episode a whole lot faster. Now, this episode is extra special to me because the creation of online courses literally changed my life. I mean, I've had lots of different courses that have been very profitable. I've created 3 different courses that have gone on to do 6 figures or multiple 6 figures in sales. One of them actually doing nearly $250,000 in its first 13 days. But on the flip side, I've also spent upwards of almost 2 months creating a course that only did $300 in sales when I put it out. So in this video, I get super excited about the idea that I get to help you avoid that kind of mistake and also understand, the difference that makes all the difference when getting out there and creating an online course and how you can do it a whole lot more quickly than you may think. So what I'm going to do today is not only teach you those pitfalls and mistakes to avoid that are super common, but I'm going to walk you through the 7 key steps to creating and successfully launching your online course really quickly, okay? It can happen super fast. Now, these are non-negotiable steps. I mean, they must be in the process, and they're probably a lot different than the priorities you may have if you want to go on launch an online course or the advice you may be getting elsewhere. But I'm telling you right now, this is coming from experience, both the good and the bad. But before we dive in, as always, if you've tuned in before, you already know this, I've got a free resource for you with this episode. And this week's resource is called the Ultimate Launch Swipe File. Now, this is really an amazing resource. I'm super proud of it. It is the materials from my most successful launch. You can check out the web pages. You can get the video scripts. You can get the different follow-up emails. I mean, even the sales presentation is in there. It's crazy. You can go grab this actually over on my website, justiceegan.com/7 to see the full blog post for this training episode and grab that resource. I've left a link down below in the description. Now, I do want to put one little disclaimer on this. This is by far the most valuable resource I've ever given away. And unlike the resources that you find on my blog that I give out weekly, which are super, super valuable, this one I may not keep up permanently, okay? It's a little too much almost to give away for free. So what I'd encourage you to do is go to justiceegan.com/7 and grab it right away. And if by chance you watch this video sometime in the future and it's not available any longer, please don't be mad at me. There's plenty of resources over at justiceegan.com for you to grab and use that will help you in a big, big way. So what I want to do next is I want to jump behind the computer, jump on the virtual whiteboard, and show you the steps, the proven steps to launching your own online course successfully as soon as possible. Okay, here we are on the digital whiteboard. And before I dive into the 7 key steps to successfully launching and selling your product, I want to discuss some of the big and really common mistakes to avoid. And the first one is what I call big focus on little things, right? On little things. It's really about priority. And what I hear all the time, and you're going to have to deal with my terrible handwriting, but what I hear all the time is people come to me and say, Justice, what funnel software should I use for my product? Or how should I process payment? What's the best payment processor? Or what kind of camera should I use for my videos? And all of these different things, when in reality, all of those are the little things, okay? They are not that important. There are tons and tons and tons of easy solutions out there. We've got things like ClickFunnels and Teachable and all these different softwares where you can house your product and tons of different payment processors and all different options. And those are really problems you can solve once you are in motion. You want to have your product concept before you start thinking about any of these little things, right? You want to get the big things out of the way. What are you going to sell? Who are you going to sell it to? How are you going to, how are you going to position the offer? Those types of things. I'll tell you a quick story. Back when I was first getting started, I followed someone who ended up becoming my mentor, a guy named Eagan, and he had some product, and I think it was like a $97 product, something like that. Maybe it was under $100, and it was a mindset product, and he had a big audience, and he was out there selling this product, and it really appealed to me, and I bought it, and all of a sudden I get the email, and I open it up, and it says thanks for your purchase, and there's just a link to a video. And the video was sizable and the information was great and it was worth every penny and it was an amazing purchase. But here's the deal. I paid through PayPal. Okay? I paid through PayPal for this. And when the email came, it was just a link. And that link, I could have shared that link with anybody. In other words, the information wasn't password protected. It wasn't in some fancy membership site. There wasn't some incredible order form with upsells and downsells. And I paid through PayPal. It's quite possible that an assistant would get a notification when I paid through PayPal and just shoot me an email with the link. Now, what's amazing about this is I know that this product did probably tens of thousands of dollars like that. And that's why concept is so important and how people pay and what the process of delivery is. That's the little stuff. When you get the big stuff right, the other stuff will fall into place and you'll get it figured out over time. I mean, I remember when my buddy Adam Chandler and we were doing our first product launch outside of major internet systems. So we needed to create all the web pages and affiliate programs and all this different stuff ourselves. And we had no clue how to do it. Okay, we had no idea. We were clueless. So what did we do? We were going to launch this product in 30 days. That was our window to get this product launched. And I think it was a $197 product or a $297 product, something like that. And what we did was we got online and we went to Amazon and we ordered all the books and everything that we could think of to help us understand how to craft our message and get all of this different stuff up and running in ways that we hadn't needed to do before in previous products launched, because we had a lot of help by being part of a system that was going to do a lot of the setup and help for us. So what did we do? Well, we went out there, we ordered all that stuff, and then we turned around. And this is where I always recommend when you're doing big projects like this that you create voids, okay? Nature abhors a vacuum. So what's going to happen? You can condense time in big ways if you focus on the big things and create voids. So what we did was we created a single page website. We figured out what the prizes were going to be for people that, sold for us, because we wanted affiliates. Now, you don't need to have affiliates to launch a product, but we decided that the first prize was going to be, a cruise ship. Right? We're gonna take people, and you're gonna see my little palm tree here. We're gonna take people to the Caribbean on a cruise, and it was a relatively cheap cruise ship. We were just trying to get a solid prize together. And we put the calendar together. We got the calendar out, and we marked the date. Here's when the launch is going to start. Here's when it's going to end. Here's what's going to happen with this product. And then we started getting in touch with people, with our affiliates. And we said, hey, our potential affiliates. And we said, here's what we're doing. Here are the dates. Here's the prize. Are you in or are you out? Yes or no? Okay. And even if you're not getting affiliates, I highly recommend that, whether it's to your audience or just to friends, that you choose a date for your product to come out and you declare that is when it's coming out. Here's what happened. A few people said yes. Well, now 30 days, it's etched in stone. We've created this huge void, and we've got to focus on the big stuff first and fill that void. In other words, we've got to get it done. We've got to get this stuff set up. We've got to get this created. There is no changing it. There's no moving the date. And unbelievably, what we accomplished in those 30 days was amazing. And that launch was not some hyper successful launch, but I want to say, I think up front we did about 50K, and then we had a little event and some coaching that did another 25K. So I mean, that in that 30 days, we went from idea to ringing the cash register en route to about $75,000, not really knowing how we were going to do it. So that is the power of big focus. all right? Focusing on the big things and not the little things. We didn't know how we were going to, accept payment. We didn't know how we were going to, house the product. We didn't even know exactly what, the exact details of the training were going to be. We knew the overall concept, right? And we knew what we were going to offer generally. And then we went out there and we created this huge void. So that's my recommendation. That's a huge mistake to avoid. This is how you condense time creating your course. Now, the second mistake to avoid is what I'll call forcing an idea into the marketplace, okay? A lot of times, business owners get so married to an idea of the course they want to create, when in reality, we should be creating a course based on the marketplace out there, right? We've got these people out there, and they've got a problem that we can solve, right? They're in pain. And we really, and we're going to talk about this in the steps, should be reverse engineering this problem into a product. That's how we create something that has a really great chance of selling successfully and converting high, versus getting so married to this idea of, hey, I want it to be this way. I have this course I want to sell. This is what I want it to be. And, putting it out there in a way where maybe it doesn't resonate with the people in your marketplace as much as you thought it would. And that is often the case. Yeah, I learned that the hard way by making mistake number 3. And mistake number 3 is spending time building a course without proof of concept, okay? Spending tons and tons of time diving in, building out your processes without proof that the marketplace is going to eat it up. And it's interesting, I learned from a mentor later, and he taught me, he said something that stuck with me forever, and that is, never spend too much time on something unproven. You see, what I did was I had this grand idea. It was going to be the greatest thing ever. And I built this mini course, and I hired this web designer, and we went out and we built all these different web pages, and there were upsells and there were downsells, and there were timers to create urgency, right? I had timers on the different pages, and there was this offer and then that offer. And if they didn't take this, then they got these emails. And we went on and on and on and on. And I spent about 2 months doing this. And when I went out to market, I got all these fancy images, and I wrote all this great ad copy, and I wrote all the emails, and we did everything. And then I got out there and nobody wanted it. Okay. It was just total crickets. I think the whole project probably pulled in about $300. It was a mini course. I think the front end sale was about $50, and then it led into other stuff that nobody ever took. So maybe like 6 people total that were probably my most loyal followers at the time bought this thing, and it was a total flop. This is why when we talk about the 7 steps, we're going to talk about getting proof. Okay, going out there, you can sell your concept, you can sell your course before it's done. Okay, and that's how you get proof of concept. In fact, very interestingly, my most successful ever launch was a product that was offered as a bonus. There's actually a really amazing lesson in this. What had happened was I was doing a special promotion with a friend and an associate that had something out for sale, and I was an affiliate, and I was doing this promotion, and we're on the webinar, and they say, you get all this different stuff, and then obviously I come in and I say, and I'm also going to give you, when you buy, I'm going to give you this bonus, and this bonus is going to be these 2 live trainings, and I'm going to teach you how I used, at the time it was long copy story ads, right? Long copy story ads to get people on to webinars, okay? To get people registering for webinars. I had a cool little strategy that was working really well. And, I had this other product I was working on that I was still making the mistake of spending too much time on something unproven. And I was grinding out sales, but it was not doing what I wanted it to do. And here I've got this promise that I've got to deliver on. I'm going to do these 2 webinars. And so I say, you know what? Since I'm going to deliver them on this day and this day, why don't I go out during this period right here and sell to my audience? I mean, the only people that are getting this right now are the people that bought this product. So why don't I go out there and actually get paid to do this bonus, right? Novel idea. There's a good lesson in there for you. So what happened was I went out there and I did this promotion. And I did it via live webinar. And so, I'm on there, and the time comes and I say, here's what we're doing. We're doing these 2 things. Here's what you get. And here's the price. And all of a sudden, I saw a buying frenzy. Everybody went nuts and jumped on this thing. And I said, man, this is crazy, right? It was the message here that had landed on them so well. People wanted a fast and easy way to get prospects through Facebook without creating content, without doing all this different stuff. And so this was an absolute home run. I had proof that people wanted it, that this concept was a home run, right? And that the message was a home run. Remember, that's super, super important. So what I did was I said, heck, I'm going to make this four webinars, and I'm going to, package them. We'll edit them up, and we'll edit up the material after it's done being recorded and package it. And this is going to be a major course of mine. Now, the cool part is all these people right here that jumped in and all the people that grabbed this as a bonus up here, they're going to come in, they're going to learn this, and they're going to go out and apply it, and they're going to get results. And so all of a sudden, I'm going to have all these testimonials for this new course. I mean, I had to give some thought to it and kind of rename it and package it properly for the big picture, bringing it out to market in a big way. But the bottom line is not only did I get paid twice to create this course, I got paid once when I made commissions here, and this was a bonus, and then I got paid a second time when I decided to sell it before I created it. But what's really cool is I got paid to create this, got proof of concept, got testimonials, and it was like a giant practice run where I got to dial in the marketing message and get everything right. I think I probably sold this. I did maybe 7 or 8 webinars to sell people into this as I was creating it. So it was like week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Every week I'd do 1 or 2 different webinars. I'd run some ads just so I could practice and practice and practice. So here I build this course, I get paid to do it, I get it all dialed in, and then when I want to launch it, it is such a fine-tuned machine that at $297 a pop, okay, at $297 a pop with, I think the upsell was $297 also, or $497. We brought in, with some affiliate help, 800 customers. And generated, like I said, just under $250,000. Might have been like 750 customers plus some upsells. The upsell didn't convert that well. But bottom line is I probably almost spent as much time on the product that brought in $300 as I did on a product that's brought in well over $300K at this point. I want you to think about that, right? I spent as much time, and the only difference was proof of concept. That's why it's so important that you want to, and we'll talk about it in the 7 keys, that's why you want to work backwards from your marketplace and get proof of concept. All right, and the last mistake, which is really closely tied to number 1, has to do with expectations. A lot of times, business owners that are creating courses have this expectation, again, you're going to have to deal with my handwriting here, have this expectation that it's because if they go out there and they create the thing, right? They go out there and they've got this amazing, amazing thing, and they're so excited about it. It's so great. They've done the work, that just because they have the knowledge and they've put it into this course and now this thing exists, that if they go out there because this is so great and they know it, that it's going to start selling. And that is not the case at all. There are a lot of bad products that sell like crazy and a lot of good products that don't sell at all. What people actually buy is the marketing. Okay? They buy the marketing around the product. So people do not buy the thing. They buy the outcome, and they buy the marketing, which is the way that outcome is explained and the way it's demonstrated. So, it's very, very, very often where so much of the focus is put on the creation of the product. And this kind of ties into everything, right? Proof of concept, focusing in the wrong places, and, and setting expectations. Understand that this is what you've got to do right if you want to get a product out there successfully and sell it. Yes, do you want to have a great product? Absolutely. Your product should be, a solution that people are looking for that really, really helps them. You can sell it ahead of time as a concept and get proof of concept. But no matter what, this is going to be the biggest part of the game and not just creating the product itself. So let's dive into the 7 steps to actually getting your product decided on, created, and out into the marketplace. All right, 7 key steps to creating and selling your online course. And 1, 2, and 3 may not work in this exact order when you're doing it. You may have some ideas on these already, but based on the mistakes to avoid that we went over, I would highly recommend you stick with me through these 3 before we dive into the next 4. And the first one, is to find a market in need. This is so huge, and you always want, and this is when we go to the mistakes of not trying to force some product into a market because it's what you want to create. Now, you may have a market in mind already. You may have an expertise that you know has really kind of predetermined at least the general market, but there might be a subsection of that market that you really want to focus on. And what you want to kind of think about is this market in need for what I can potentially offer them? Are they really, is there a big pain point or big desire that's going to make this product fly off the digital shelves, so to speak? You also may do a little research to make sure that this market is big enough to support what you're offering. Maybe you're going to look at that there's enough people in it. Maybe you want to go out there and look at the competition and see what else is being sold or people are trying to sell to this market, to see what else is out there, what kind of competition you have, what these companies are doing well, what they're not doing well, where you can capitalize by doing better. The next thing you're going to do is actually research that market, which we just kind of talked about a little bit. But one of the things you want to do is come up after your research. You want to come up with a customer avatar. So that's an individual. It's a fictitious individual within this market right here that has that. This is the person that you're going to be speaking to in your marketing message. So you want to make sure that your marketplace is big enough to support your product, that they have a huge pain point or desire that you're going to solve with this online course, but also then you're going to paint the picture of the individual, and you want to dive deep on this person. What are the fears? What are the pains? Right? What are the desires? What are the dreams? What are the objections? What are the things they've tried before, right? What do you know about them? Where do they live? All this demographic stuff. Big stuff is what language do they use? So you want to give their language back to them. You want to speak in their language. There's so many different things, so much different research, and this is the foundation of everything right here. And it's what rarely gets enough attention. What happens typically is that somebody goes, I've got this great idea, right? I've got this idea here, and you're like my little light bulb there, right? And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to put it into an online course. I'm going to package it up and I'm going to make money. I recommend that you kind of work the opposite here, and that you start here. And again, you may have a market in mind already because you may have a specific expertise that you want to build your course around, but don't get married to a specific idea. Actually work backwards, because this groundwork right here, this legwork plays a role in every single thing you do moving forward. The next thing you want to do, which is step 3, is you want to determine the specific result that you can help them achieve. Okay, so you know what the big problem is. There's someone out there, this avatar you've come up with, and they either have a big dream or they have a big problem, and you're going to solve that problem. Now, what is it? Are you going to help them lose weight? Are you going to help them make money? Are you going to help them have better skin? Are you going to help them save for retirement? What is it, and what is the specific result that you're going to help them achieve? In other words, if they're here, right, they're unhappy over here, and you want to bring them over here where they now have a better life or a better experience or a better result because of your course, right? It was your course that took them from there to there. What is the promise? In other words, they are here, they're going here. What's the promise you're going to make to them, and which is ultimately the reason why they should buy this course from you? The next step, which is the 4th step, is to outline your course. Okay, so once you decide on what the big promise is that's going to happen here, and this is a lot of this stuff is out of my digital freedom formula. I mean, this is the process that I teach. But once you've decided what the big promise is here, you're going to outline the course as to how you are going to help them get from here to here. So I'm Joe. I've got the problem that you solve. I've tried everything to lose weight, and I still have 30 extra pounds on that I can't get rid of. And, the fear is that I'm going to have health issues, and I've tried the different diets, and my objections are that I don't have time, and I can't, I can't work out because of my back, and all of these different things, right? That's Joe. And maybe you come along and this is where Joe's at, and you say, hey, Joe, I can help you lose those 30 pounds, and I can help you do it without going to the gym and without the diets and without all all this different stuff. You can still eat everything you'd like. Okay, well, that's a great promise and all, but how are you going to do that? What are the steps? 1, 2, 3, 4. What are the different things that you're going to walk Joe through? Excuse the dings there. What are the processes or the process that you're going to walk Joe through, and what's the information you're going to give Joe to get Joe from here to here? That's your outline. Now notice here, no place have I said, hey, record your trainings or create your course or get your funnel system or figure out how you're going to get payment. This is what you need to do right here. These are the priorities. These are the big priorities. Now step 5, which could probably be 2, separate steps, but we've moved them into one here, is to craft your offer and your sales message. Okay. And this is so huge. This is where the magic actually happens. So it's like, what are the different things they get, right? Maybe it's these different modules or something like that. And then they get this bonus, this file and this file. And maybe they get a phone call with someone, right? Like, I'm just speaking hypothetically, but you craft out your offer, and then you've got to get your message. And your message is essentially how you communicate the way this is going to take a person from here to here. Okay, how is this going to happen? Why does life suck over here? And why is life amazing over here? And why the only way that can be achieved is through your product, or the best, fastest way that can happen is through your offer, your course. Now, the 6th step, you may already have this kind of covered, or you may already have this in the works, and that is you're going to need attention, okay? You're going to need attention or an audience online to sell this to. Again, do not assume that just because you create this great product, that if you put it out there, that people are going to buy it up, right? I've got this course, I've got social media followers, so they're going to buy it. We really need the market to message match. We need this person with the problem to see your message and to say, man, that's something that I need. I'm going to buy it because it's going to help me go from where I am to where I want to be. And that's been communicated and demonstrated clearly. So not just any person in an audience is going to be okay. You need to go out there and get the attention and grow an audience of the right people, of this market. People that fall into this market that resemble as closely as possible this avatar. Now, that can be done a million different ways. You could go out there and create a lead magnet and run ads or get organic traffic online and build an email list. You could go out there. You might have a social media following. You could focus on building a social media following. You could do this organically. You could run ads. There's so many different ways to gain attention and grow an audience, but you're going to need to choose 1 or 2 ways and do that. Now, you might already have the audience, which is great. I want to make something real clear though before we get to 7, which is actually launching and selling your course. I want to make something clear, and that is that this part right here, okay, 1 through 5, I want you to really think about this. How much time does this actually take? Find a market, research the market, determine a specific result, outline the course, and craft your offer and sales message. I mean, that's truly something that you can do realistically in a matter of a couple of weeks. It really is possible. And I'm talking about actually crafting a legit sales message, like not just, hey, this is what I offer, here's why to buy, here's a few sentences on why to buy it. This could be done in a couple of weeks. That's how close you are, especially if you have attention or an audience already. That's how close you are to being able to sell your online product. But Justice, I don't have the product created yet. That's okay. You have the outline created. You have the promise of what you're going to deliver and the specific result people are going to achieve from it. That's what you need. I mean, theoretically, at bare minimum, you could say, hey, I'm going to deliver this outline over X weeks, right? Over X amount of weeks. And all you have to do, here's a PayPal link. And I'm not suggesting this is the way you do it, but I'm just speaking to the simplicity, the potential simplicity of the process, right? X weeks, I'm going to deliver this live on Zoom, which cost next to nothing. PayPal, here's PayPal, my PayPal information. Send me the money, and I'll send you an email with your Zoom link, and you register, and then show up every week. And when we're done, I'll tell you where you can access the recordings. Not the way I would do it, but I wanna just kind of show you how simple it can be. I mean, I remember my buddy Terry years ago when he was first getting started online. he held a webinar where he was going to teach something, and he decided out of nowhere he had put this course or this training together, right? And out of nowhere he was going to sell this course, and I think it was like maybe $300, something like that. And he gets on this webinar, and he's going on and on and on, and the clock's ticking, right? And like, you know, he's been on there for about an hour with everybody, and they're all excited. Everybody's chiming in the chat. And he says, I'm going to tell them about this thing that I'm doing for them that I can sell. And when he did, he realized he didn't even have a way for them to pay. Okay, he was just so excited, and he had this big, this outline of what he was going to do for people, and he knew who he was talking to. He knew who the avatar was, and he had this result that they could get. And so he just said at the end, hey, I'm going to charge $300. Here's what I'm doing. Here's why you want in. Here's how I'm going to deliver it to you. And he realized he didn't even have a way to pay. So all he did was give them his PayPal email. He said, just send $300 to this PayPal email. Well, that night, 10 people sent over $300, and he made his first $3K selling information, right? So do you need all this crazy infrastructure? Not at the beginning, you do not, right? What you need is the concept, the market, the outline, the offer. You need to understand how to explain it, and you need to be able to get the attention of the right audience. All right, now that we've cleaned up some of this scribble and made this partially legible, right? My chicken scratch here. The last step is to sell your course, right? Sell the course. Now, if you have this audience, here's how I suggest you do it. You want to build, and this is one of the most powerful things out there, you want to build anticipation. So in other words, you go out to your audience and you say, I've got something coming. Get excited, right? There's something coming in the future very soon, and it's going to be, there's going to be an opportunity that's limited in time, maybe limited in space, right? Scarcity and urgency are very, very, very powerful influence triggers. And you're going to say, hey, if you want this result in a specific time frame, then you're going to want to keep an eye out for this, or maybe even reach out to me now and get the details, or get on this waiting list. You want to start to seed the marketplace. You don't want to just show up and say, hey, I've got this going on. Any content that you do, anything that you do that you put out into your marketplace, you want it to be in line with this topic. Okay. Interestingly, at the time that I'm doing this video, very soon I'm going to be offering a way for people to build courses, right? I want to help people, well, not even build courses, but take the knowledge, expertise, and turn it into money online in 90 days or less. So perfect example, if you might be interested in having me help you do that, you want to go over to my website, you want to email me at justice@justiceeagan.com and say, hey, I saw this video. I saw your video, Justice, on how to create an online course, and I want to know the details on how you're going to help me go from zero to profit in 90 days or less if I'm just getting started, and even faster potentially if you've got some of this groundwork in place. That is me, using seeding the market here, okay? Building anticipation that this is coming very, very, very soon. So once you do that, then when the time comes, you need to be able to present your offer. And you're likely going to do that through an online funnel. But what you want, like you've heard the phrase MVP before, right? The minimum viable product. Well, you kind of want to take that approach. What is the simplest approach you can take to getting your marketing message and your sales message in front of people? Is it a webinar, right? Is it a webinar invite where people opt in here and then they show up and you present, and then at the end you say, here's the deal. Here's why you should buy now. There's some scarcity, urgency in there, etc. This is a great way. Is it a sales video? Are you just going to get people to reach out to you and book a call, right? It could be as simple as that. And then you get on and you close them into the course. Any of these can work, but whatever the minimum funnel and minimum amount of emails and all that stuff is that you can have up to actually get your message in front of people and sell the course is the best way to go. Because remember, you want proof of concept. Now, sometimes if I'm selling a course that isn't created yet, one thing I might do is I might put the first the first module or the first video of that course back there so that after they buy, when they log in, they have something to get started with. In other words, that there's not as much room for buyer's remorse or for somebody to sit around and go, oh, well, I was supposed to get all this and now my excitement is gone, right? You might get them started. Definitely you want to reach out and be high touch if you're selling a course based on a promise and not based on an existing course. But what's so great about this is now the people that come in, you get feedback from them. It helps you make the perfect course. You've got proof of concept, and now you've got something that you can sell over and over and over and over. I mean, social testimonials, profits, which is the launch swipe file that you'll get when you go over to justiceegan.com/7. That launch is a perfect example. I got paid twice to create it, got all the testimonials, launched it, in 14 days, just under 250K in 13 days, and then went on to sell, hundreds of thousands of dollars of that course until it became a little obsolete. I had, it really just didn't deliver on the promise anymore. So for me, ethically, I had to take it off the market. There's some people out there online that would still be selling this right now because the message is so fire and it works so well. But nonetheless, that's what I was able to do with that course. And this was essentially the process. So I highly encourage you to take what I've said here, the mistakes, the 7 steps, take them into account and follow this process and, avoid this idea that you've got to spend all this time, energy, effort building your masterpiece, getting all the right softwares and all of these different things versus crafting the perfect idea for the perfect person and going out there and ringing the cash register and getting proof of concept. Now that I've cleared all that scribble, I want to remind you, if you do want help with building your online course, you can go to justice@justiceegan.com, or not go to, email justice@justiceegan.com and make this the subject line right here, help building my course. And there's actually a couple of ways. One, I'm putting together a home study program, which is the thing that's coming up that I'm putting out soon, that is literally a step-by-step with all my emails and scripts and worksheets, everything you need to get this message just right and get out there and get your course in the marketplace. And it can be your course, your coaching program, your service. If you want to sell it online, this process will help you. And then there's also an option for like the real serious go-getters that I see as like, this person's going to go out there and really make this happen and become a success story, another success story of mine. In those cases, there are some coaching options available where me and my team and I really help hands-on. That certainly is a higher price tag than the home study course. But either way, justice@justiceegan.com, put this subject line in there. And you can also go over to justiceegan.com/7 and grab the ultimate launch swipe file right now, and that'll get you some information to get started. All right, so now you know how to create an online course from scratch and get out there and start selling it. I hope you got tons and tons of value out of this video. If you did, make sure to drop a comment below. Don't hesitate to ask any questions down there. I will do my best to answer them. And as always, if you like this kind of training, be sure to subscribe because you'll get tons more by subscribing to this channel. The last thing I'll tell you is don't forget to grab the ultimate launch swipe file over at justiceegan.com/7. I'll definitely leave some other resources down at the bottom of that blog post that'll help you, identify some of the tools I recommend and some of the different resources that'll help you get your course up and running. So I can't wait to see you on the next episode. I'm going to leave you with a couple of related videos that may help you dive deeper into your digital marketing education and get better results. I'll talk to you very soon.